What I'm about to go through now is one of the most important things that you need to do to maintain your gym stick. So when we're exercising with the gym stick, you usually wind up the bands and perform the activity. Yeah, so you might perform lots of different activities with tension on the bands. Now what's interesting about this is that when the bands are wrapped around the end, there's actually no pull or tension on the bands actually on the stick. Where the stress on the bands is coming from the bottom. So the greatest amount of stress is within the first 10 centimeters of the band, and then it reduces slightly as you go up the band. So here is where it's going to pull the most. Now, what most people don't realize is that the gym stick was specifically designed to mitigate that stress so that the bands last a lot longer. And let me show you how it works. So you'll have your gym stick and you'll notice that there's an extra loop on this end. Now this is actually another foot strap. So let me show you how this thing works. So place the gym stick on the floor. Using your fingertips, work your way around the top of the band so that you end up pulling the band off the rubber stopper at the end of the gym stick. Now that's the loop that was at the top. If I go all the way across to the other side, there's a loop that was around my foot. And if you see, they're both identical. They both have a loop and they both have this square part. So the loop that was around my foot, I can now open up the same pocket that was over the top of the gym stick on the opposite end. And now what I'm going to do is basically place that now on top of the gym stick. So when you do this, it's super important that you make sure that your bands line up so that I don't have this band slightly turned, which will change the tension on the bands when I'm using it. So I want to make sure that I've got the other band along the floor. Now, I need to also place the stick on the floor because this will make it easier for me to put the band on the end. The trick to this is to actually open up that opposite end, get your fingers in, loosen it up a little bit. Sometimes they can be quite tight, and that's just basically what happens from the manufacturing end. It just requires a little bit of loosening with your fingers. But I will show you another way of putting it on. So now, fingers at the top, this is the part that's going to go on, your 2 index fingers at the top through the loops. Using your 2 fingers from the top, you place the front part of the band on the stick and then use your fingers to lever the back over the top, back of the sticks. And then what you do with your fingers at the top is just roll back and forth until you have enough on it to pull it down. So now I have a different end, and now this is my new foot strap. So I'm going to do it on the other side. And one of the things about using the gym stick is that you need to do this fairly frequently depending on use. So if you're using your gym stick twice a week, it's important that you're also changing it at least once a month. Once a month, just perform this process and you'll be able to maintain the longevity of your bands for much, much longer. So there I've taken it off with my 2 fingers, go to the other side, that's the foot strap that I had, bring it over here, open that out using my 2 fingers, open it out, and now fingers at the top, check where the band is along the floor, getting it to over the front of the stick, and then using my fingers. Now this one's a little bit tighter, so I'm going to use a key. A blunt metal object is useful for this, and it's nice and strong. So I'm now going to use a key. I'm now going to use the key to help lever the band over the top of the gym stick, and you may have to find yourself work around the top of the band just so that you can get the band over the gym stick. Once you've done that, pull it down, make sure it's firm, and you've now basically top-tailed your bands. So now when I put the gym stick on and I add tension, it's the opposite end that's going to get stressed. So once again, really important that you change your bands frequently. We recommend at least once every month or once every 2 months as a minimum to make sure that you maintain longevity of your bands.